Hello everyone. It's that time of year again. The Eurovision Song Contest had its final tournament, and this is always an occasion that hipsters and self-proclaimed music snobs like me, of course, like to avoid or look down on or simply make fun of. Most serious music listeners turn away in horror. And yet, every year there is, that little portion of curiosity. What kind of atrocities did they send on air this year? I didn't watch the final contest, the live broadcast of the final contest. Instead, I was DJing in my preferred shabby little bar, playing metal and soul classics. But of course, now that everything is over, I will take another look at the candidates this year. The Eurovision Song Contest is a phenomenon that I think started in the 60s. It's huge in Europe, it's extremely popular in Australia. People over in America probably have never heard of it or really couldn't care less. Yeah, I thought it could be fun, maybe, or torture, to look at all the candidates that made the final rounds and yeah, have a little look at their performance, at their songs, and just give my honest comment. Take it with a grain of salt. If you clicked on this video, you know what to expect. You probably know what the Eurovision Song Contest is all about. Over the years, the song contest has gotten the image that the music is less and less important and it's more about the show and the outrageousness. In recent years, there also have been more or less political comments. Ukraine war this year, there have been some scandals around pro and contra Israel attitudes. The candidate from the Netherlands was expelled from the contest. I don't really know all the background details, but there seems to have been some political feud, some statements he made that were deemed unacceptable for the contest. However, in the past, the song contest indeed also was a starting point for international careers. Most famously, ABBA started their worldwide career after they won the European Song Contest with Waterloo, but also Celine Dion, for example, as in her younger years, was a candidate in the song contest for Switzerland. Spoiler alarm, Switzerland won this year's contests. I'm informed that much. And there's a little personal story involved here with the Swiss candidates. More about that later. I'll go through the ranking list now, the final ranking list after the jury and the public voted for their favorite songs or performances. So we'll start with the last place, and that was Norway and a lady called Gaute with the song Ulvehamn. Only made 16 points in total, so let's see what that was all about. Okay, we had some very mystical atmosphere, dancing or jumping guitarists. I don't know what that was all about. And a sound that has been prevalent in the Eurovision Song Contest for almost decades now. It's a strange mishmash of, folkloristic elements, a bit of ethno dance, as you might call it. And with Norway, also some kind of strange symphonic metal elements. Unlistenable. At 24, Austria, my country. Yes, made a miserable second to last place with We Will Rave. This is one of the only 2 songs that I heard before making this video, and yeah, title says it all. Yeah, do we really want 90s Eurodance trash back? Lots of skin and glitter in this performance. Honestly, Carlin, not vocally the strongest candidate in the Eurovision Song Contest. And from the 90s, I don't remember that we were doing Ram Di Dam Dam. It was just called Rave. But I was too young to be raving anyway. I was more kind of the big beat French house generation. Yeah, don't worry, Carlin. I think this song will have a solid afterlife at clubbings and most of all après-ski parties in the Austrian Alps. So let's just forget about it. At 23, we have Slovenia, an artist called Raven or Raven, with a song called Veronica, which makes me emotionally attached a little bit because it's the name of my wife. But looking at this rather slippery performance, not very memorable, simply. It's, yeah, one of those ethno-tinged songs that feel a bit heavy-hearted compared to your usual song contest party vibe. And yeah, I've already forgotten how the song goes now that I'm talking about it. So let's move on. Spain with 30 points, Nebulosa, and the song called Zora. This time around, we had a lot of male skin and Spain's answer to Cher. They also went all Euro trash on us. So far, I have to say, probably the most fun entry of the 4 that I've seen now. But ultimately, yeah, like a warm fart in the summer breeze, I guess. We are at number 21 now, and this was made by Georgia with 34 points, and a singer called, or a band, no, I think it's the singer Nutsa Buzaladze. Sorry for my certainly wrong pronunciation. Best title, I think, Firefighter, sounds very cool. And after the glitchy, rather, you know, wet theme of Slovenia, of course now we all get flames and fire. This is how it looks like. Yeah, your typical Balkan ethno dance track, also the rhythm, that's very, you get a lot of these songs, especially from the southeast of Europe. It's their preferred style, I guess. It's very popular there. And yeah, this was a solid pop song, but honestly, I don't think they really went in believing they could hit number 1 with this one. It's decent. And in the final ranking, this was followed by the contestant with the most outrageous song title in a long time for a song contest. I won't even try to pronounce this title. It seems to be something about drugs or not taking drugs. It was Estonia, and they managed to reach the 20th place with 37 points.
me pole narkomaanid, pole midagi teinud. Kleidid meie seljas on prügikasti leid. Politsei kroonika ja suvilas on räid. Ainus kott, mis näha käis, pannipudeleid.
Yeah, a performance where everything was practically completely out of key. Swinging your instruments wildly around apparently was a bit of the fashion this year for the song contest. A song that cannot even be really considered a song, but kudos to them for obviously not taking anything seriously about this contest, and for that reason alone, so far, they have my fullest sympathies and respect. Go Estonia. Only 1 point more, 38 points for place number 19. And that was, I'm watching here at my computer screen to have the list. That was Finland with an artist called Windows 95 Man. It gets better and better. I'm really curious about this performance. Yes, this is a country that clearly demonstrated what they think of the Eurovision Song Contest in their performance. Windows 95 wasn't, I think, very suitable for downloading huge data packages of pornography. But this song maybe implicates this. You see me out of words, but honestly, the singer here wasn't actually naked. I looked it up. This was a cleverly done stunt with the tanga and how the cameras were positioned. Other than that, if you try to get the images out of your head, you know, the egg that opens and all this very deep philosophical, artsy ideas that went into the choreography. The song, interestingly enough, is another nod back to 90s Eurodance. So far in, this actually now makes me wonder why Austria received so little points. Because in terms of Eurodance, I think the Austrian entry actually nailed it the best. It's just a style that nobody really wants to listen to. At 18th place, a country that has had a very hard time with the Eurovision Song Contest for several years now, the United Kingdom, and I think they can be quite happy that they at least were not in the bottom 3 this time. A singer called Ollie Alexander, and the song is called Dizzy. Probably not a cover of the very nice 60s pop tune Dizzy. Let's find out.
Won't you make me dizzy from your kisses? Will you take my hand and spin it round and round until the moment never ends?
Yeah, another singer who strictly goes off key. He's, as far as I could hear, he was a little bit too high all the time. But that's something that you could often witness with the Eurovision Song Contest live broadcasts. It must be something about the playback. I have this theory that the performers don't hear the playback properly in their in-ear monitors. Because very often the songs sound as if the singers are a bit off key, a bit too high for the actual playback, the music. The song itself, a serious, earnest reflection on homoeroticism in sports, here depicted with the example of boxing. I think sports should discuss gay sexuality more openly, and maybe the song will help to, push this discussion forward. But I would prefer Olly Alexander to stop singing, to be honest. Let's move on to Serbia at number 17, received 45 points ultimately. Teodora with Ramonda. Sounds quite nice actually.
Ko pod vodom tiho je sve, vrištino se ne čuje, iza gora beli sjaj, ja ne naziram kraj, ovog put je za ranjene.
Talking about a change in tone and in mood. Quite different from what we've seen so far. I guess this is a little bit what you look like after you wake up from knockout drops. All joking aside, nice performance. I actually enjoyed the voice, but at the end of the day, this song was perfectly boring. The number 16 in the final ranking then was an artist who chose the honest way. He doesn't make no secrets about the content of his song, or probably maybe also a statement about the entire song contest. Dons with a song called Hollow from Latvia.
Grave shallow, still sailing out of something so hollow, not afraid.
That was the very definition of understatement. This guy obviously can sing. Unfortunately, nobody will notice after such a sleep-inducing performance and a song. Interesting choice of wardrobe. Looked a little bit like remnants from the Tron movie, or like an action figure that was stripped of half of its parts. Other than that, an absolute non-event of a song. This could be a serious influence for the next Coldplay album. And now it's time for Cyprus, Zelia Kapsis with a track called Liar.
Should've known that you are a liar, but I look the other way. Should've known you're a troublemaker, but you act too nice to hate. I knew we couldn't get much higher, but you promised the world to me.
Yeah, straight out of the all-inclusive holiday entertainment program. Standard Eurovision Song Contest fare. Let's move on to Lithuania. Sylvester Belt with Lyktelk. This one received 90 points. We are still in the very low regions of Eurovision Song Contest results. My hopes are not very high for this one, but let's find out. Well, another middle-of-the-road pop tune. The costumes of the dancers were clearly inspired, or rather stolen, from either Star Wars or a Kylie Minogue video, the name of which I can't remember now. I hope the royalties for this performance, the sales of this single, will be enough for the young man to finance his face surgery. Obviously, he had a terrible accident with a broken nose, and to finally buy some new clothes. Luxembourg is next, place number 13, and we are finally cracking the 100 points threshold. 103 points for Tali with not firefighter, but simply fighter. A good example of song contest entries that are a bit insecure about what language to use. The verses here are in French, but the chorus, to probably make it a little bit more appealing to a wider audience, is in English. I always find this a little bit strange and confusing, but on the other hand, well, that's Europe for you, so why not? I would classify this as the perfect soundtrack that you can play in the background while you're having some cheap red wine and do some illegal transactions to a bank in Luxembourg. But nice braids. At number 12, another country that has had a bit of a dire phase in the Eurovision Song Contest, Germany, with 117 points. Isaac, and his song was called Always on the Run.
I'm always on the run, run. Oh, close but never done. And I can break out when I'm free, lost in my own identity. I'm on the run.
Germany opts for no-nonsense social criticism this year in the Eurovision Song Contest. But honestly, yeah, Germans playing with fire, never a good idea. Also, I cannot see this guy run very far, to be honest. But I would like to hear what he can do with his voice. Just give him some, good material. Yeah, another 3 minutes of nothing in terms of the music. What a shame. We're coming now to Greece, Marina Satti with Sari.
I'm gonna do it my way. Στο μυαλό σου θα μπαίνω βγαίνω. Γιατί δεν μου δώσεις το χέρι ούτε για να πιαστώ. Κάποτε είχα πόνο για σένα κρυφό. Τα αφήνω όλα να βγουνε, πάμε, put your hands up.
Did you hear it? Did you hear that beat? Yes, it's the Southern European typical beat, comes with every second song, and it's become really, really boring by now. Other than that, I cannot imagine why you would want to listen to this. Probably the most annoying entry so far in the entire contest. So let's move on finally to the top 10 of the Eurovision Song Contest 2024. At number 10, Portugal. A song called Grito, and probably I've mispronounced at least 80% of all the tracks now. Apologies also now to Yolanda.
Transformai cada verso de mim e entrega a coragem que ainda arde, bate a luz no peito e
Yeah, a more dramatic, emotional song and performance here. Portugal definitely tried something different. Made the 3 minutes feel like 6 minutes, though not a good sign. We continue with a country that is probably happy it didn't come close to the top positions this time. I didn't look it up, but I think Sweden is the country that has won the Eurovision Song Contest most often. By now, this time they only made number 9, and they came with a duo, apparently, Marcus and Martinez with Unforgettable.
She's unforgettable. She's unforgettable.
Clearly another pop banger from Sweden, all glossy, shiny, and very superficial. I've already forgotten who's who now, from the two twins. Yeah, but what you need to be aware of course, is that with the Eurovision Song Contest, we are not necessarily talking about songs. We are talking about products. Very often, these tracks have been written by a couple of people and produced by often several producers together. I often wonder why you need so many people to sort of construct these pop tracks by numbers, but that's how it works nowadays. So Unforgettable it's a decent pop song that was quite all right, but quite all right actually simply is not enough for Sweden. So yeah, at the end of the day, sorry, I mean this pun came with the song title already. This is a little bit forgettable. And it was surpassed, for example, by Armenia with 183 points. I have to read it up again. Lada Niva with a song called Jako or Jako.
Let's go!
Yeah, a big folkloristic party going on with over-enthusiastic musicians. I'm scared. Scary stuff. Catering to the lowest common denominator in the audiences, I guess. Let's find out if Italy could turn things around. Angelina Mango with La Noia. La Noia apparently means the boredom. I didn't find the song boring at all. My honest opinion is, in terms of, radio pop music, this was the best entry so far. And Italian is a language that always sounds good. I think everybody likes to listen to music in Italian. Maybe not, but yeah, that's just my personal opinion. Also had a nice little synth bass line in the background. So yeah, for your standard FM fodder, this one really was okay. Well done, Italy. Thank you very much. And now Ireland with a song that sounds really foreboding, at least the title, Doomsday Blue. Also, the artist makes me a bit nervous, Bambi Thug.
My heartbeat buried in the ground, and to its strings I bind your bound, so when you sleep you'll hear my sound. I know you live me alive. I see the scars in your eyes.
Honestly, what's wrong with you, Ireland? Yeah, this was the obligatory let's do something completely different and crazy and far out candidate for this year, I guess. We've had Lordi from Finland once, who did this kind of monster metal performance, and a few other ones. This time Ireland stepped in and failed miserably. I mean, for this atrocity alone, they should really be punished to finance the next Eurovision Song Contest finale. But yeah, people voted for it, probably because they were sick and tired of all the other songs sounding the same. Number 5 now, a contestant that was viewed very critically, Israel, a song called Hurricane, performed by Eden Golan.
Every day I'm losing my mind, holding on in this mysterious ride, dancing in the storm. I got nothing to hide.
Staple goods from Israel with this R&B tinged ballad. We've heard this kind of stuff 1,000 times. It's definitely nothing for the top 5. And yeah, I think the excitement over this this candidate was certainly brought on by the polarizing discussions about Israel with the pro-Israel and pro-Palestinian movement, and yeah, some really, I think, stupid discussions, political discussions about this. I mean, this is just a banal pop song, and that's how it should be treated. At number 4, and that's pretty cool because it's one of the huge participants in the Eurovision Song Contest who usually doesn't gain a lot of points, but this year France was among the top candidates. Number 4 for France with Slimane with Mon Amour. You don't need to know any French to know what this means. Let's check out. The male French parallel to the entry from Israel, another moody ballad, very slow, very heartfelt, with a performer who looked like he was in terrible pain for at least 50% of the performance. Maybe the votes also were a sign of pity for this poor guy, what ever he had to be suffering through. But honestly, strong vocal performance, also a better melody, I think, than the ballad from Israel. Yeah, it's all right in my book, but nothing to really write home about, other than the, as I said, really strong vocals. I think this guy could do some cool stuff. Let's move on to the top 3 now. Let's see who's missing. I already said that Switzerland won, so we still have 2 more contestants, Ukraine and Croatia. At number 3, Ukraine. Alyona and Jerry Heil? Okay. Well, very confusing. Alonia and Jerry sing about Teresa and Maria. Ooh, 2 Valkyries from Ukraine, yeah, and that was some deep female vocals, which I actually quite like. I think ladies with lower registers have often very interesting voices. Think of Annie Lennox, for example, who at the same time could also sing really high soprano. Yeah, definitely one of the more interesting performances at this year's Eurovision Song Contest. I didn't like the song, but at least this was interesting. And yeah, I think it's understandable, or nobody would expect Ukraine to send in an entry that would be, high-spirited party fun at this moment. Still, I think it's a bit strange that this made the number 3 an odd number about, I don't know, Mother Teresa, whatever. Let's move on to number 2. And here we've got Croatia with what is my favorite artist's name this year, Baby Lasagna. How stupid and how cool is this both at the same time? I haven't heard the song yet. It was called, it's getting better and better, Baby Lasagna with Rim Tim Tagidim. I hope the song sounds like its title. Okay, Rammstein Go Disco here with Croatia's contribution to the song contest, Rim Tim Tagedim. I was expecting something a bit more pop, maybe. Clearly an absolute fun, not to be taken seriously contribution here. Again, nothing I would vote really at the number 2 here. But what you can see here from the votings, from the rankings, is that there seem to be two opposite camps here for the Eurovision Song Contest. The fans who want perfectly made but ultimately bland pop music, and those who prefer the song contest to be really camp and outrageous and over the top. And Croatia definitely falls into the latter category. I enjoyed it. It's fun. It's what I expect from the song contest. It should be, just silly fun. It can be a bit annoying, but, something that doesn't take itself too seriously. So, Baby Lasagna, yeah, not a masterpiece, but it's okay. Let's look at number 1. A young man from Switzerland who tramped to Malmö to get to the contest. My godfather, who lives in Germany, picked up the Swiss contestant and drove him, a little part of the way closer to Malmö. So my godfather is partly responsible for this guy making it to Malmö in time and winning the Eurovision Song Contest. How crazy is that? Martin, you are the man. But now to the candidate from Switzerland, Nemo, nobody, who broke the code. The song was called The Code. And yes, I listened to this song beforehand after I learned that actually my godfather met this guy and actually picked him up with his car. So let's look into this performance. It's number 1 for this year's Eurovision Song Contest.
I just gave it some time. Now I found paradise. I broke the code. Whoa, yeah. Let me tell you a tale about life, for the good and the bad. Better hold on tight. Who decides what's wrong, what's right? Everything is balance, everything's life.
Very over-the-top performance, some operatic elements, actually a bit of Klaus Nomi going on in this song. If I'm perfectly honest, I don't enjoy this one too much. It's not exactly catchy, maybe apart from the chorus. So yeah, I'm a bit surprised this won the Eurovision Song Contest. On the other hand, it's a solid song contest winner if you look at what has won the song contest in the last couple of years. Also, the message clearly goes out to all the non-binary people out there. Something about, gender fluidity. That's very much the zeitgeist. So yeah, it's an okay winner. Probably not really my favorite, but undeniably a great vocal performance, whether you like it or not. It's quite extreme with this falsetto operatic excursions here. Interestingly, the singer apparently also wrote the song, or was at least a part of the writing team, which is not too common with the Eurovision Song Contest these days. So, thanks for bearing with me. What's your opinion on the song contest? What's your opinion on the final contestants for this year? Would you have liked to see the Netherlands win? I didn't hear the song. Should politics belong to the Eurovision Song Contest? That's also a debate that has been going on for several years now. The next song contest then will be in Switzerland. As I've said, I strongly vote for Ireland paying for the whole thing, nonetheless. Maybe you would like to back me up there, and I hope you're not too offended by my video here. Of course, the Eurovision Song Contest is something that shouldn't be taken too seriously, and I think And especially in recent years, this spirit of not taking things too seriously has gotten lost a little bit. So that's my 50 cents on the Eurovision Song Contest. Obviously, I have no clue what I'm talking about because I'm not the target audience for the Eurovision Song Contest. See you maybe again in another Murdoch Music Minute, which is about my preferred target music, which is old-fashioned rock music from old white guys. See you. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.